Welcome back to another episode of the Captain's Log. Today, I have decided I'm going to talk about Bjo Trimble, who is one of the, shall we say, the queens, as you will, of Star Trek. She's a very big Star Trek superfan, and she has also been involved in science fiction fandom for well over 50, almost 60 years. A lot of us who have been around long enough know that she, along with her husband, John Trimble, were instrumental in saving Star Trek, the original series, after its second season when NBC was ready to give it the axe. I remember that campaign. I remember hearing about it, rather. I was too young to actually take part in it. But they got fans together and they actually saved Star Trek, and it went on for a third season. And well, if she hadn't done that, then we might not well have a Star Trek franchise. I know I wouldn't be doing this right now, the Captain's Log, and I would not have been in Star Trek fan films. Something might have come up, might have appeared in its place, but I think history has said it all with Star Trek and all the good and stuff that it's done. And also, let's see, Bjo, which is an Esperanto combination of her name, which is Betty Joanne, and she was born Betty Joanne Conway on August 15th in 1933 in Holdenville, California. And as I said, she was known as Bjo Trimble. Let's see what else. Oh, yes, she's she's also been a writer. Initially, she started having she was in the fandom, science fandom in the 1950s, which makes it almost, I guess, 70 years, really. And she is married to her current husband, John Trimble, and they've been married since 1960, after they had met at a LASFS party. That's LASFS, which stands for the Los Angeles Science Fiction Fantasy Society. Originally, it was known as the Los Angeles branch of the Science Fiction League, LASFL, and the main club of this sci-fi society was in Los Angeles, and it's believed to be the second oldest sci-fi club in existence, having been founded in 1934. Now, Bjo's introduction to science fiction fandom was TASFIC, which was the 1952 Worldcon. And believe it or not, I was pleasantly surprised to find out she had been serving in the United States Navy. So she is also a service member at the Great Lakes Naval Base in Great Lakes, Illinois. And she just happened to see an announcement in Astounding Science Fiction, a small pulp sci-fi magazine. Well, small in size. It's, to us in the sci-fi fandom, it's well known. And anyway, and she saw an ad about the upcoming convention that weekend. And as a result, she's been heavily involved in sci-fi fiction fandom ever since. She has organized several fan activities at various sci-fi conventions. She's also responsible for writing, and I had a copy of this, the Star Trek Concordance, which contains cross-reference, details on every character, the settings, events, devices in every episode of the original Star Trek. And now, some interesting little factoid I found out was that according to former Star Trek archivist Richard Arnold, the concordance was used as the primary source of information, official canon, if you will, by writers of the Star Trek universe when he first started working at Paramount. Now, Bjo and Gene Roddenberry first crossed paths when she was heading up a futuristic fashion show at the same sci-fi convention where Roddenberry was screening early Star Trek episodes from the original series. And Gene wanted to showcase some of his, the show's costumes rather, at the convention, and Bjo agreed. And so, but as I said, it worked into a friendship, it worked into a long running association. And eventually it came to, when Star Trek, after the series had been canceled, it came to the point where, the 1979 release of the Star Trek, the motion picture, and Bjo had done so much work on behalf of Star Trek, and Gene Roddenberry had wanted to have some way of thanking the loyal fans for all the work that they did, especially the super fans like Bjo, and he included them in the scene in the rec deck where Kirk announces that he's taking over command of the Enterprise and going after V'ger. And there was like 400 some people in that scene. I think this was also the last time that the Screen Actors Guild allowed non-union members on the set of the of motion pictures. But fortunately for us, Bjo, and I think along with her son, were in the uniforms, and they were part of the crew listening to Kirk give his briefing about V'ger. And let's see what else. Oh, yes. And now Bjo, as a result of her work on behalf of Star Trek, on behalf of science fiction, has won many awards and accolades over her decades-long association with the sci-fi fandom. And as a result, in her honor, there has been an award named after her, and these are called the Bjo Awards. Now, that's not their original name, but they were formerly called the Independent Star Trek Fan Film Awards. And this is a set of annual awards to recognize excellence among the independent Star Trek fan films that were released to the internet in the previous calendar year in which the award was given. And well, I've been in Star Trek fan films now for about 4 years, almost 5. And I've had a lot of fun doing it. And I'll save that for a little bit later. Let's get back to this. Now, the Bjo Awards are patterned after the Hugo and the Nebula Awards, and they're based loosely on the Emmys, the Oscar, and Tony Awards. I personally refer to them as the Oscars of the sci-fi Star Trek fan film world, the sci-fi world. And they are they're voted on prior to each year's convention in Atlanta, Georgia, called Treklanta. And the Treklanta was produced by the Treklanta founder, chairman, Eric L. Watts. And the way it works is that the Bjo Awards are voted on by a panel of people in various categories. And this is also, the people include industry professionals, they with established credits in the Star Trek franchise. So we got people in the Star Trek franchise voting on these fan films, whether they're to be awarded the Bjo Awards, and there's several categories for that. And let's see, and also anybody that has experience in the entertainment industry, especially sci-fi. All right, now, in order for a sci-fi fan film to be eligible for a Bjo Award, it has to be a live action dramatic presentation in the Star Trek universe, and it can't be animated or CGI or even satire or parody of Star Trek. It's got to be live action, like this. It has to include the words "based upon Star Trek, created by Gene Roddenberry," or something closely similar to that in the title sequence, opening credits, or even the closing credits. And it has to have been released on the internet, YouTube, Vimeo, Vimeo. I may be pronouncing that wrong, or something similar to that during the previous calendar year. And here's one thing, it has to have an entry in the Internet Movie Database with full cast and crew credits listed. And though this is not an official requirement, but generally speaking, only the films that are in English, spoken language is English, or if they have English subtitles, have been included in the awards process, because of the most of these are in the United States, and also because the judges are speaking only English, and not speaking the foreign languages that have, not to say that there aren't good sci-fi films out there in foreign language. I've seen some of them, and I've enjoyed a lot of them. But yeah, it's for practical purposes that they are only in English. And the categories are usually the best product design, best visual effects, best soundtrack, best original story or screenplay, best supporting actor, actress, whichever, best actor or actress, of course, best director, best dramatic presentation short form, best dramatic presentation long form, which is, CBS has limited Star Trek fan films to 20 minutes or less. That would be the short form. Episodes in Star Trek Continues or Star Trek New Voyages, anything over 20 minutes is considered long form, and all of those have been at least 45 to 50 minutes. The Star Trek Continues or Star Trek the New Voyages. And now I have had the pleasure recently, well, a year or so ago recently, of having been in such a film that was awarded a Bjo Award. It was the fan film 11th Hour by No Budget Productions, headed by Vance Major, a friend of mine from work. We've done several films together, but I was actually at one of my granddaughter's plays, high school plays, Mary Poppins to be exact, when I found out the news, and I couldn't shout or anything because it's right during the middle of the play. I was checking my phone and I saw a Facebook notice from Vance, and I was going, "Are you kidding me?" This is so cool. And so I'm happy to announce, of course, that I had a small part in it, but it was still exciting to have been part of a film where they actually awarded the Bjo Awards to it. And so I'm going to show you I'm going to present the 11th hour here, and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed being in it. And here we go.
Program complete. Enter when ready.
Behind every person, there's a story, a struggle, something that defines us and keeps us going. Sometimes those things have ended well, and sometimes they've been tragic. But the thing that I know, each person mattered. Each struggle mattered. It's those things that build us when we think that we can't take it. When we rise up against insurmountable odds. Whatever the obstacle, we've all overcome so much in our personal lives to chart out these Constar Chronicles. And no one can take that from us. When we sit in those chairs, when we're on that bridge, when we're in these uniforms, and no matter what anyone does, this moment is ours, not the Dominion's. Let's continue to prove our haters wrong.
How many ships are we looking at?
Over 250 diminishes.
More than double than what we have.
Captain, we're being hailed by the lead Cardassian ship.
This is Captain Mickle of the Federation starship Constar.
This is Gul Macaw. We seem to be at an impasse, Commander. And you seem to have brought a large group with you.
You have one yourself.
You do know you're not getting by, right?
I didn't know that. I think I'll have to have that explained to me. Screen off. Open a channel to Menard Squad. This is Captain Mickle of the USS Constar. 8 years ago, the Federation was attacked by an overpowering enemy on what we thought was the brink of annihilation, but we survived. Today we face that same scenario. Some of us won't survive, but it will cost the Dominion a heavy price if they want our life. Because I won't back down. We won't back down. Today we are not alone. We stand on our own together. Mickle out.
Waiting for standby.
USS Armitage reporting in.
Ellis, standing by.
Destiny, standing by.
Odyssey, standing by.
Smithfield, standing by.
Menard Squad, standing by.
Understood. Roll out.
Shields holding, Captain!
Hold fire. Wait till we get close and then let loose. Make every shot count.
Aye, sir.
The Odyssey is taking the brunt of one of the attack wings, giving us all cover.
Armed quantum torpedoes. Dispersal pattern King.
Ready.
Fire!
One enemy target destroyed. Another one seriously damaged.
Captain, the Ellis is taking heavy assault.
Take some stress off.
This is Captain Hawkins of the Ellis. We require assistance.
There's not much we can do at the distance, and we cannot go back.
Ruiz to all available Maquis fighters. I'm on the outskirts. Let's assist the Ellis. Let's get them home.
This is Vargas. Let's stop McCall at all costs.
Jones here. You mean, word on it. You know the only way to save the Ellis is suicide running.
There are 430 people on that ship, plus some friends. So we gotta make it count.
Captain, the Maquis fighters are making a direct run to the Jamadar ship.
Martinez, to anybody listening, tell Bailey and my unborn child that I love them. Martinez out.
The Ellis is safe, but they have now drawn their attention to us.
Hull breaches on decks 21 through 23.
We're sealing the decks. Response teams are on their way.
Our shields are still holding.
Minor damage to the Star Drive section. Damage control teams to deck 20.
Engineering to bridge. Can we talk about cutting engines on those hard turns? Maneuvering thrusters only. Let inertia take us through.
Acknowledge, Santana. Coordinating with helm.
Thank you.
Continue to fire all weapons. Damage report.
Heavy casualties in the forward saucer. Long-range sensors are now offline. Shields are failing, Captain.
I'm initiating emergency shutdown.
Two of their ships approaching from aft.
Power severed in aft weapons, attempting to compensate.
Captain, the minion ships are refocusing on the Destiny.
I can't get the control for the aft weapons back online.
Engineering to bridge. I'm rerouting main power through a secondary cup. We've got to get the stabilizers to the EPS manifolds.
Heavy damage to our deflector dish. We're starting to pick up minor debris fractures.
More drive and long-range sensors are out!
What's the status of weapons?
The Destiny.
The Constar is the ship that helps others. We're the ship that nobody hears about. Turn around and head back into the battle. Let's do as much damage as we can.
Aye, sir.
Two Cardassian ships destroyed. 3 more coming around for another pass.
They'll use caution. They weren't expecting a hit from that direction. Let's continue to throw them off.
Captain, the Odyssey's taken a beating.
Get us over there.
Modules. Failing us.
On screen.
will not rule this day.
Giraffe, Grand Constar, let's go tear these talks up.
Agreed, Kargan. Gaffa!
The ship is tractor beaming us.
The crazy son of a bitch. He's moving us through the battle in tow.
Maintain repairs and let's give him some cover fire.
Captain, the Klingons and the Mongols, they both even the odds.
Let's go win this day.
Captain Mickle,
USS Comstar.
best wishes on your journey. Be safe out there.
Space. The vast unknown. This is the journey of the USS Comstar. Forgotten by time. Forged by fate. To deal with what no one else will.
Okay, that's it for this week. Once again, thank you for watching, and may the great bird of the galaxy bless your planet.